A new factional speaker has emerged in the Rivers State House of Assembly. It's Victor Jumbo, representing Bonny constituency in the State House of Assembly. Jumbo is among the 4 lawmakers loyal to the state governor, Simi Fubara, since the political crisis that rocked the state started. The former factional speaker, Edison Ehie, is now chief of staff at the Rivers State Government House. He was the leader of the pro-Fubara lawmakers. He later resigned his membership of the assembly after President Bola Tinubu's intervention to broker peace in the feud between Fubara and his estranged political godfather, Wike, who is now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Joining us now on the show, as we look at the crisis in Rivers State, is Opunabo Inko-Tariah, former special advisor to former Rivers State Governor and now SCT Minister Wike. Good morning, Opunabo Inko-Tariah, and thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, Ruben Abati, my cerebral Ruben Abati. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning.
Well, the last time we discussed the crisis in Rivers State, there was some optimism with the intervention of the president, even if many thought at the time that the president had no business getting involved in the crisis in Rivers State. Now it looks like we're back to square one in Rivers State. Now, again, 2 factions in the House of Assembly and the APC, Rivers State, urging the 27 members of the House of Assembly to proceed and impeach Governor Fubara. And Governor Fubara saying, well, the people who want to impeach him, they exist because of him. And that as far as he is concerned, they are of no consequence. How did we get here? Everyone thought that there was already, some kind of resolution and accommodation in Rivers State. What exactly is the problem from your own perspective?
Yes, thank you, Ruben. Like you rightly said, lots of persons felt that we are going to arrive at a resolution of the issues. But certain persons are adamant for some parochial reasons to ensure that either they remove the governor based on impeachment. Like Ruben, impeachment is not removal. Impeachment simply means official indictment. It is after impeachment you have removal. Or they make the state ungovernable for the governor. But let us take the issues under advisement. Now, first and foremost, I heard and I've listened to the ebb and flow on the argument of the issue of the House of Assembly members at my mercy. Yes, authoritatively I can say yes, they are at his mercy. Why did I say that? We had a matter in court. That's what I mean. We are talking of Rivers State now. We had a matter in court where the legality of the assembly members were being questioned, having defected to APC. And we all know that save 2 extenuating circumstances, 1, melding of political parties or crisis in the political parties, once you defect by section 109G, automatically, self-executory, automatically you have lost your seat as a member of the House of Assembly. These are decided cases. Ruben, you're a lawyer. These are decided cases. It's a constitutional matter and it's also
State House of Assembly
by the Supreme Court, except they have to go to God to appeal. So, having said that, now in the spirit of that peace and reconciliation, the governor of Rivers State, after meeting with the president of the country, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said, well, I will not set the coercive legal machinery against these persons. They have defected, and going by that statement is self-executory. Once you defect, save those 2 circumstances as enunciated. Once you defect, you have lost your seat as a member of the House of Assembly or a member of the legislature in this country. Now, I will not, in the spirit of peace, and because I also signed, I was part of that 8-point agenda, that resolution, I will not activate that. Let them continue. But unfortunately, these persons, because they are outing out a script written for them by a certain person, they have decided to exceed their brief. And so what he told the world is, listen, you're floundering the morals of legislative procedure. You are there at my mercy. If I activate it, you will no longer be a legislator. That's what he meant by being at my mercy. Once that is activated, no longer, but I will not. Otherwise, in the eyes of the law, you are not legislators. Now, if we go back to the emergence, or if we go on, rather, to the emergence of a new speaker yesterday, it's legislative arrangement. Now, many persons will ask this question. How can 3 members produce a speaker? I want to answer that. Although I'm not seized of the facts preceding the emergence of the speaker, but the truth is, the governor probably reached accommodation with Mr. President, who is not the Constitution. I'm talking about Mr. President, who is not a Supreme Court justice. Reached accommodation with Mr. President, and on that premise decided not to set the coercive legal machinery against those impostors called legislators. While the government is doing that, maybe these other members are saying, no, we cannot case the rule of law. The administration of justice must not be subverted. Mr. Governor, go ahead and do what you think you ought to do. We have to follow the rule of law. And probably it's on that premise they said, these other persons are impostors. Therefore, if they are impostors, we cannot have a rudderless assembly. Let us have the leader of the assembly, and decided to come up with their own speaker. Persons will ask this same question. Quorum. Now, the issue of quorum is a function of number. Quorum in Rivers State does not represent quorum in Kwara State, does not represent quorum in Kano State. Quorum is a function of number. And as we speak right now, in the eyes of the law, we have just 3 members of the House of Assembly, with Edison here being now the chief of staff. We have just 3 members of the House of Assembly, and among the 3 members, they resolve to choose a speaker. These other ones are not speakers, they're impostors. I mean, they're not members, they're impostors. Some will also ask, Mr. Governor signed their peace agreement. Mr. Governor signed the peace agreement, but the issues we must distinguish between legality and opinion. Even if Mr. Governor today, are you telling me now that Mr. Governor today, if he meets with the President, Tinubu, to say he's going to sell government house and signs an agreement to sell government house, Rivers people are going to watch him? No, not at all. We are going to say no.
All right.
That he signed. If today he signs an agreement and says all those who resigned from the party should return as legislators against the provisions of the law and the Constitution, Mr. Governor, go and set up your House of Assembly.
All right, Mr. Inko-Tariah.
We are talking about constitutional matters.
Yes, Mr.
Go and set up your
Inko-Tariah.
House of Assembly.
Mr. Inko-Tariah, we hear you.
So
we hear
probably that is why he said they are there at my mercy.
Okay.
Because he has withdrawn all cases concerning that, although certain persons like the Rivers elders have decided to pursue the matter. He has withdrawn all cases concerning that.
Oh, Mr. Inko-Tariah, let me come in here.
Mercy. Otherwise,
Mr.
if
Inko-Tariah.
I should activate, if I should set the coercive legal machinery against these characters, they will not even be talking as House Assembly. Not only will they not be talking as House Assembly, but they will also be sent to jail, prosecuted and sent to jail as impostors.
All right, Mr. Inko-Tariah, thank you. All right, thank you for your opening charge. Let me just ask you, a number of things you've said, would you not consider them contradictory? In one breath, you say that the governor didn't want to activate, the provisions of the Constitution. All right, Mr. Inko-Tariah, can you hear us? All right, I believe that would need to take a short break right now. When we come back, all right, we have re-established contact with Mr. Inko-Tariah. Mr. Inko-Tariah, can you hear us, please? All right, brilliant. Okay. So, as I was asking, in terms of contradictions, on one hand, you say that the governor, in pursuit of peace or for whatever reason, has decided not to pursue constitutionally the fact that the lawmakers who have defected cease to be lawmakers and that he could take the option to pursue them. On the other hand,
which is wrong.
Yes. On the other hand, you also say that now he's saying that they do not, the three lawmakers who are recognized are the only ones that have the right to elect a new speaker, so creating a faction. And earlier today, there were reports that a circular had been issued around local government chairmen not appearing before the State House of Assembly. Do you not think that by this going back and forth and not doing the right thing once and for all, especially at the very beginning, he is perhaps at the risk of running a state or instituting a state of anarchy where things just happen, there's anyhowness without him taking the right steps and the right measures? I hear you in terms of him trying to pursue peace, but does that not just serve his personal purpose whilst jeopardizing the rule of law in Rivers State? Why not just continue, pursue the rule of law? Let them go through the right way and be removed.
Thank you, Ayo, thank you. You see, the governor's approach is altruistic. Altruistic in the sense that the assembly members are against me, but in the interest of peace, no problem, they should remain. So it's not selfish, it's not egocentric, it's altruistic. That is one. Then number two, Rivers persons are not happy even with that agreement. The accommodation reached with Mr. President and that document being signed. Rivers persons are averse to it. And that is why you still have the Elders Council going to court to pursue that. Look, let me tell you one thing you should understand. If the governor of Rivers State today says, I want to sell government house, Rivers persons are going to say, no, you cannot sell government house. You cannot come up with policies that are antithetical. You cannot come to democracy and are anti-people because you're the governor for some sentimental. That agreement was signed on sentimental basis. We all know that once you defect, except you have division in the party, you have crisis, or except you have the melding of political parties, if once you defect, you've lost your seat. Mr. President is not above the law. But if that is going to be a harbinger of peace in the state, fine. All we need is good governance. But we have seen that certain persons are still resolute. Just because you have a misunderstanding, let me be very open, misunderstanding between the governor and the FCT minister. Therefore, all those that are loyal to the FCT minister, Wike, are hell-bent on wrong-footing the governor's administration. It's as simple as that. It's quite lucid. So that is the whole lesson. And we are saying, that's why even when the governor is saying, I've withdrawn all cases, Rivers elders are saying, you cannot, it is not within your virus, it is not within your purview to withdraw all cases. Because we are not talking of Governor Fubara here. We are talking of, look, let me be honest with you, Ayo. What Rivers persons are fighting for, we are not fighting for Governor Fubara. No. That's the mistake. We are fighting for the office of the governor of Rivers State. Let's get that straight. Otherwise, the Elders Council would have withdrawn that suit in court. Okay. But we are fighting for, because after Fubara, if he stays for 8 years, after him, you have another governor. Then we don't want to lay dangerous precedents.
Inko-Tariah, please.
So we are talking of Rivers State. Not Governor Fubara.
Inko-Tariah, if you can hear me. We're running almost out of time,
yes,
but I need you to clarify two things.
No, we should not. Doc, we should not. We should not. Let us agree.
No, I want you to make some clarifications. Now, you talked about quorum. These are follow-up questions. You talked about quorum.
Yes.
Quorum, Section 96 of the 1999
Yes.
Constitution, with regard to a State House of Assembly, says
Yes.
for you to have a quorum,
Yes.
it should be 1/3 of the full members of a State House of Assembly. What constitutes the full membership of the Rivers State House of Assembly? 32 seats, 32 constituencies. No, just a moment. Let me finish. Hello? Let me finish. I mean, if you
can hear you, Doc.
If you
I
can hear me,
Doc.
let me just finish. I'm asking for clarification. So you have 32 seats. One person died, okay? I think a lady died, so the number of seats available, 31. Now, you went a step further and said the people defected, they've lost their seats, that Section 109, 1G is self-executory. Well, the clarification I want you is the governor in a position to take a decision on behalf of the courts? The case, the Supreme Court decision that you were referring to, that's Abegunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly, where their lordships said that 109 1G, that the only way you can leave a party is if there is division within the party. But that division must be such that it affects the functions of the political party affected. And in Abegunde's case, the Supreme Court decided that the functions of the Labour Party was not affected to necessitate Abegunde crossing to ACN. Those are the facts in that particular case. Now, this matter in Rivers is gone up to the Court of Appeal, right? Okay, why don't the gladiators, including the governor, wait for the court to decide and not just jump on the wagon of the Ondo State House of Assembly case and say, well, that is the position of the law and a decision has been taken. There is a dispute, clearly. So if you could just clarify all of this briefly for us.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. You have just said it all. In fact, inadvertently, you answered the question, my brother. You answered the question. You know why? Why I said you answered the question inadvertently? It's simple. Why will the assembly members keep talking of impeachment when the matter is in court? That is why, you see, the governor is saying, you are even there at my mercy, otherwise we would have activated the judgment of the Supreme Court and the provisions of the Constitution, the Electoral Act. So you are there at my mercy. Why are they still talking of impeachment? Why did they not wait until the Court of Appeal and eventually the Supreme Court will make pronouncements on this? That is a conundrum. That's why I say, inadvertently, you answered my question. You answered the question, rather, not my question. So that's the conundrum. Why did you not just wait? You see, because now we are looking at, you see, let me tell you, what happened with that agreement, 8-point agendas in Aso Rock, is simple. It was not planked on legality, but legitimacy. Now, okay, fine. If this will bring peace to the state and we can reconcile in the interest of Rivers State, fine. It had to do. But then Rivers people said, no. Let us look at the provisions of the Constitution, provisions of the Electoral Act, and also decided cases. Mr. Governor, you don't have such rights. And that's why people are also in court. And the governor is also being sued for signing that. And it is that clarification he tried to make. But you know, when things are done, slanted reasons are moving into it for some political reasons. That's why he said, look, you are even at my mercy. Ordinarily, I would have been the one sponsoring this. But in the interest of peace, I will not. That is blown out of politics. It's been misunderstood, and you have what you call dispensation of falsehood concerning that. So exactly what I'm saying, Doctor, That was why the governor said that. And the truth is, you ask a question, why will the assembly continue? You ask, what are the grounds for impeachment and what has the governor done to warrant that impeachment?
All right, Mr. Inko-Tariah.
If not for political reasons and sentimental reasons.
I hope this time around.
What has he done?
I hope this time around the president will not even.
Then if you look, no, sorry, doctor, a quick one. If you look at a quick one, let us also look at the local government chairman, because we have this tendentious statement from the local government chairman. Now they said the governor is holding back their allocation. That is mendacious. That is not true.
All right.
You have Jack at the end of every month. It is normal that the Jack could be delayed by 1 or 2 weeks. The only local government that they withheld the allocation was that of Emoha. And because the chairman balked at the increment in the worker's salary.
Mr. Inko-Tariah.
That was the match.
At
April just ended.
Mr. Inko-Tariah.
April ended just last week. So the Jack can still go on and they can still meet.
Thank you so much.
So what is this story
Inko-Tariah
about holding back local government allocations?
We'll have to wrap up the interview at this point. I believe your point and your view has been well established. We're out of time, but thank you very much for your time this morning.